What's up? Good afternoon. Let's check in on something real quick. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Y'all ready for this weekend? Listen. Number one. Drop down your corporate compliance policy. All right? And drop down your signed contract agreement. All right? That way you can relate back and forth to them. If you got space in your phone, drop down Black's Law Dictionary app. That way you can relate to the languages that they use in reference to how they deal with you in your situations. All right? And don't forget your union, their corporate compliance policy as well under their fiduciary and how they represent you. Okay? So they won't be pulling no fast ones and trying to bail out on you. All right? Well, you know what it is. Got to do a back door to the situation that was yesterday. So we back with our friend again. And we, look, see that? 48 powers of law. Law number 15. All right? Law number 15 says, crush your enemy totally. It says all great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smothers, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through thorough total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush it. Not only in body, but in spirit. All right? So on that note, moving forward, we're going to go to the fact of, let me see if I can pull it up right here. Let's see if I can pull it up. We're going to talk about civil service law, section 75B. So you gotta be able to drop them PDF them boys in here, and then when you pull it up, you just go in there like I'm doing right now. Section 75B, like this, B, and you should pull it up. If it's on here, I already know pretty much by heart, but I'm just gonna pull it up to okay, it's not on this one. All right. In Section 75B, it basically says, I think in number 2, it's kind of cold. Number 2, it says that your employer, once you file a complaint in the whole 9 yards, they can't take no adverse actions against you under your employment, okay, until the matter is basically resolved, okay? So there were some officers who told me that they filed some complaints in written form, and that the matter was never resolved. And see, basically what it is that the matter, pretty much the same as violation of corporate compliance policy, and with that being a violation of corporate compliance policy, how the individual came at them would bring about, when you bring in the EEO, when you file a complaint with the EEO. Now, the key thing is, my situation is different because it's a whistleblower, okay? Now, either way, if they don't follow this, okay, it could go into that Jackie Robinson because they deprived you. And that individual, they deprived him of a right and privilege, okay, because he did file it. And under their corporate compliance policy, they were governed to conduct or what you would call corrective and preventive actions. Under the corporate compliance, when you get into a situation, you have corrective and preventive actions. The course of the corrective and preventive action meeting would be under the conflict resolution within the workplace, because this occurred in the workplace. So, like I said, I'm going to stick to mine so I can't use theirs. I'm stick to my situation. When I filed the complaint with the EEO, right? The first thing that's under the employer's corporate compliance policy is it states that you must speak to a supervisor or a member of management. So you immediately speak to your immediate supervisors, number one, about in reference to what took place. Unless it's that particular supervisor, then you go to another alternate supervisor or management. Okay. Okay, now we're back. These interruptions, yo, they gotta throw you off. Okay, as I was saying, in my situation, when I filed the complaint in reference to what was done to me in the employee's parking lot, I filed it with the 203 captain and the 201 captain. Okay, and they advised me to go to EEO. Now, the key thing is when I went to EEO in the whole 9 yards, the EEO officer must document everything. You can write a statement, or they could just take your statement and they write it up, and then they move on from there. After they take the statement, this is your employer's EEO at your facility. Now, after they take it from there, they advise if it warrants investigation or before they go further. Basically, they advise the facility's corporate compliance officer, who takes the information from there, and if it warrants investigation, they notify the DOA, the departments or organizations, the employees, Department of Investigations investigator, who then he or she takes and informs the commissioner of said complaint. Okay? Now, the key thing is, what I'm trying to say is, you got to pay attention to when you record this. When I mean record is when you write up the complaint and you file the complaint. That's recording. Okay? So when you file this said complaint, recorded it, you put it on the record, you got to pay attention to when. Because the employer is going to always try to pull some little fast stuff because somebody's trying to look out for somebody. So in my situation, the 30 director, all right, the probationary employee / hospital police director, what he did was he went at 201 commander, yo, give me something on this guy as far as time and attendance or whatever. So he knew what he did when causing me to be late by giving a directive not to allow me to park in my assigned parking lot, employee's parking lot, for which I paid for under signed contract agreement. So he knew this. So he came in late this day, he came in late that day. Yeah, well, you caused it, so I'll be in there late. If I'm at that gate, I'm parking where I paid for. I paid for it for a reason, because my vehicle was all that. And we have a history of the vehicles around the facility, of employees' vehicles that's parked around the facility being vandalized. We had to do patrols outside a number of times to catch individuals who was vandalizing our vehicles. You come there to work. You ain't coming there to get vandalized, but this is something that goes on. Anyhow, well, the individual, the individual wanted to hardship in that call this individual back. The individual wanted to cause me hardship. And as he caused me hardship, he then hit me with the time and attendance. Not a problem. Not a problem, because you already broke the law. It's not a problem. Several times, several different ways. We already discussed that in the past videos. The key thing is the fact that you when I filed the complaint against you and you got word of it, you went and had them send charges upstairs to labor relations for time and attendance. Not a problem. I could dig it. Here's the deal. The EEO said in early January that he was found guilty. Not a problem. By the time he was found guilty, he hit the ceiling and said some foul stuff pertaining to this. And the captain had to tell me after he spoke to the human resources director. He had to tell me, and I had to take and bring that up with the EEO. Brought it up. This is when what was that? March 30th? You know, you came and got me, and you need to be sergeant. Fall back. So let's move forward. The key thing is that next day, the 31st, you had me go upstairs for those charges. Now, you do remember in the beginning of this, I said we're going to talk about Civil Service Law, Section 75B. Okay? And that the key thing in Civil Service Law, Section 75B, under the whistleblower, the employer cannot take any adverse actions against the employee as far as their employment. So you brought me upstairs to Labor Relations for time and attendance, caused by the probationary employee / hospital police director. Or what do you call him? At the time, he was the assistant deputy director. Now, let's move forward. The EEO, in her submitted rebuttal to the state, she wrote that she conducted an investigation, which she's not allowed to, violation of corporate compliance policy, violation of Mayor Executive Order number 16. And then she wrote that she scheduled a meeting between the dirty director, the probationary dirty director, his immediate supervisor, and myself. What about the union? This is what you wrote in her. This is what she wrote in her rebuttal. Yet, you know civil service, right? Yeah. So as a civil servant, it must be documented. You must send me a document. Let's go with that. You have to document this. I must get a copy of the document. You send out one to the union of when this meeting or this conference is going to go on. You never did that, did you? You never did that, did you? Why? Because I don't have no copy of it. Did you send it to the union? Maybe you sent it to the union after the fact and they can say, well, we got it. Well, I never got it. Never got it in the mail. But you did say, oh, I called them. See, if you would have sent it, you would have said it in your rebuttal that you sent the document. You would have also had it as a copy of that document as part of evidence. But you didn't. So, moving forward, the key thing that you scheduled a meeting for, what was that, April 6th? And the hearing was what? March 31st? Based on that fact, that would constitute violation of Civil Service Law, Section 75B, by taking adverse action. Because they did suspend me, right? I'll be posting that schedule of that suspension. Said actions to do so would constitute improper governmental actions. Am I correct? It will also constitute violation of Executive Law 6312. It will also constitute deceptive practices, subsection 349, New York State Business Law. Do we got to go any further? I mean, you got like a track record of breaking so many laws. It's ridiculous. And there go the boss. Oh my goodness. How you doing, boss? This guy right here, Arnold Pack. Arnold Pack is the man. He is the man. Okay? Great guy. Great guy. Always been a great guy. He was a great leader from what I was told. From what I experienced. I don't know what you guys was going through, but when I met him, when he came to the Big W and all that, great guy. And it keeps me on point. So I can't step out of bounds. And I won't step out of bounds. But yet and still, for those of you who violate the corporate compliance policy and tainted our agency, tainted our department, no, you got to be held accountable. According to rules, regulations, and laws. Like I said, Civil Service Law Section 75B. Under improper governmental action, said actions for you to do so. Under Mayor Order 16, Mayor Order Executive Order number 16, when I explained to the individual what took place, how she was supposed to forward it on, the EEO, who's the facility EEO, how she was supposed to forward that information on and failed to do so. All right? There's a system in place. If you follow the system, everything should run smoothly. It's a machine. It should run smoothly. But we get these people in the background, do me a favor, do me a favor, do me a favor. You know, and they don't think about what they cause. You're causing the system, the employee to be sued. Opportunities for them to be sued. Nah, you gotta go. That's what I feel. But it's good to see that he's there. Anything to say, boss? Anything to say? So, you know what? I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to let you know, coming off of that post yesterday where I got into the EEO and their deceptive practices. Pay attention to all your documents. When they bring you up on these fraudulent charges and all that, pay attention to your documents. All right? Make sure they didn't violate their corporate compliance policies. Make sure they didn't violate any rules, regulations, or laws. Hold on to any document that they hit you with, because the document that they hit you with is a contract. Anything you sign is a contract. I posted something today in reference to when I went up to labor relations and they had that, sign this waiver. If you don't sign this waiver, when we go to 40 rector, we're going to terminate you. You already broke the law. You already broke the law. And the key factor, you making me sign that waiver under duress, and the union's not backing me, and then I do my own research and find out that the union was just as guilty as well. Both of you are tainted. I don't know. Just thinking about that remedy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know the remedy. You know that, as I told you, the trouble, let's just go there real quick. If you don't know, I'm going to show you right now. All right? I'm going to show you right now because you need to know about this. This is how you get, to the 3 times amount. The treble damages. Yeah, treble damages and that, which is a remedy. In remedies, it says it there. It's remedies. All right, it's backwards. It's right there. All right, and it basically says in that in actions arising from contractual whatever, some yada 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 yada. Basically saying when they step out and they violate, where it's supposed to be like, say if you're getting 20 baht, it says if you're getting 20, the court will reward you double on that, meaning it'll go from 20 to 60. So you're getting actually 3 times the amount. That's what you get. That's by the law. And then it also says that if they violated any whistleblowers in the whole 9 yards, that you can get legal fees and pain and suffering under punitive damages for mental anguish. So go see that therapist, baby. Oh, yeah. So on that note, guys, I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Be careful. These fools are running out here and going bananas. I don't understand it, especially with our state where they just unleashed the purge. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. If you're going to do your drinking, you're getting high, all right, be selective in it, and be selective who you do it around. Everybody's not your friend. All right? Have a wonderful week, holiday weekend, and I'll hear from you later on, all right? Oh, yeah. Don't forget, the facts cannot be altered nor denied. Take it easy, and I'm out. Hey, boss, enjoy your holiday.